Hello and welcome to the TGO Test Gear Online Epcm Business Completions Program. This program is designed for completions project as support for project management for any size project. Today we will review the front page summary and a few of the benefits that you will come across running a program like this in your business. We'll start off with project documents. Project documents is the support information. This is the whole front page for TGO. It is the what you'll see as a visitor access, and all this information will be available to work through as a view. Project management, we go through when you create a project, you have all of the information in different databases. The objective with this program is we put all of that information in one database, and we create the database so that you have view only, different access points for different people. So you can turn these on and off for any different person available. So what we have here, feasibility docs, contracts, meeting minutes, pre-feasibility documents, all in the project management status. Lessons learned is one of the criticals. From lessons learned, we can create an approach to make sure that lessons learned are fully implemented instead of just put aside for the last project. There are several benefits to this program. One is that we have multiple windows, can run multiple projects, and multiple companies can run different projects within each other. It's a very versatile program. It is not a one-off project program. It will cover as many as you like. So once the information's in here, then you discuss with your client, update their requirements, put that in the system, and build from there. You do it once. QA, QC, policies and procedures, specifications, site photos, inspectors, all of this information is it's got a place to go. That's the most critical part, is actually understanding where things go. Instead of just saving information onto a database, it can all go in on on individual computers. It can go here, and it can be looked at from any access point within your group. Emergency response team, management plan, procedures. This is all available to the frontline people without running more than one database. Fire equipment register, locations, health and safety. One of the critical aspects of every project that you've got these days, and all of the information, all your training, everything can be just put into certain spreadsheets, information, and then regular updates. Engineering, all of your data sheets. These are shortcuts as well to other locations. So once you get into, this is the project side, remember, then you get into the commissioning side, completion side, and your handover side. So these are all individually kept locations. Approvals and licenses, all you need to do is upload them, and they're readily available. And your codes, these are what is the driver function of all of your work lists, of your check sheets, and then you got your reports. So these are predetermined reports that can be put through, and they'll be also uploaded individually to individual reports. Disciplines. This is where we do an upload. This is where we access and print out and can view all of our structures and equipment on the spreadsheet that's been put in. So we'll cover spreadsheets in a minute, but the structure of the spreadsheet is the same for every upload. You have access to add and remove the viewing ports of a lot of information, but as long as the information is there, it can be used. So mechanical register, piping, when you do your pipe test packs, all of the information is there, and it's all individual. So when you do a structure, you can say that you've got 1,000 pipe supports, so therefore you can identify every one of those in this system. All your pipe spools, it's all your pipeline list. The drawings are there, the associated information. So there's no real questions. Everything is in the drawing system, everything is in the engineering support. Now you've got a place to put a whole lot of information, so you can remove it, and you can do your progress reports, you can do everything that you need to do from it. Electrical, You can, if you wish, break it down into individuals, HV/LV control, or you can put it straight into a cable schedule. So these are functions that you can use depending on your outcomes and how accurate, how you want to micromanage your project. Instrumentation the same, loops, register, tubing list. Once you get into hazardous area facilities, you need to have a tubing list. Normally you just put a plastic tube and that's it. But the tubing list is critical, no different to the instrument register and instrument loops. So once you've got these and there's a tick beside every one of those loops, it tells you your exact location of where you're at and your training list. So that is just the training required for that information. It's whatever you want to make it to be. This is your contacts list. Again, you have got people, you've got their list, but you can put in all of their training, you can put in all of their information so that you don't have to second guess anything. You've got your subject matter expert down here, your company, client personnel, contractors. They're all critical parts, and just having one list of people with a spreadsheet is not really adequate. This will tell you everything. The hierarchy area is where we view. That is the outcome of all of the information that we're putting into the system. And this is also where we can upload, where we have the upload and view. We'll come back to that one last. I will go through the rest before we actually show any of that system. The commissioning. We have the blue line drawings, P&IDs, subsystems, how they're structured, how they're linked, commissioning spares, commissioning tools, force register. That's your NOE. That's when you're starting to put your energy to your system. Ramp up plan, performance list. So there are so many different projects out there with different hierarchies and different stage 1 to 4, stage 1 to 6, stage 1 to 10. But at the end of the day, they're after one thing, and that's an outcome and a client handover. So the more organised they are here, the better it is. You've got construction drawings. They come in and they will do a red line. So commissioning will do a red line. They will put that through, then they'll do a blue line to confirm the red line is correct, and then you'll go to a green line drawing, which will confirm that the drawing has been updated into the system and it's correct to what's out in the plant. A lot of the times that's overkill, underkill, whatever. It's your call. These are approaches that we can cover, we can increase, we can reduce to suit your requirements. The maintenance tasks we have during a construction phase, there is a lot of maintenance. That maintenance might be just poisoning the grass. It could be building roads, upkeep of anything that has to be done to get you through the project. So all of those items are on there, and you can cost them, you can do everything. It just depends on how much work you want to put into this list and how much you put into that initial spreadsheet. And once you've done that spreadsheet, you've got it for life. This is your program that you do 1 to 10 to 100 projects with, and you just keep building them. Your maintenance tasks on their items, your maintenance instruction procedures. All your information is in the one place, so all you have to do is just click the button and drag it out and give it to the people that are required to do it. Preservation, fire, mechanical, electrical, you have to lubricate motors, you have to run the motor, keep them warm, you have to do basic things to make things work. These get left out, but if the preservation mechanical has got a list in it, then that list can be passed to somebody instead of just being, oh, we forgot about that. It is on the bottom of the list. But if it's covered early, you can cost it, you can put everything in place, and you can guarantee to your client that you've got it all covered. Test and tag is a basic requirement. This is where your list is of everything that needs to be done. Okay, we'll go to construction. Again, we've got the red line drawing. Go to commissioning, you got your blue line drawing. Go to completions, you got your green line drawing. The reason these are kept separate is so that you don't confuse them all. You have different people at different stages of a construction project and they can go in and they can identify in their area that they can put in a red line drawing. They will get a drawing from a construction from the database. Then that red line drawing will be uploaded into the construction outcomes. That will be uploaded by the commissioning group. They will go out and correct it, and they will put it into their correction. They will put a blue line and put it under the commissioning drawings. That will be completed. The completions people, they will take the drawing and they will make that in the system an upgrade to the database in the drawing system, and then you're covered. EHA is the most important area now, because anything to do with gas, whether it be LNG or just a gas station in a plant, has to be covered by this process. So what we've got here, area classification, plans, locations, classification reports, risk assessments, all of the information is here, but it is only available to be seen by the people who you want to see them. So this is an area that we can control all of the information. Intrinsically safe documents. All right, these are general information that come with the SHUT program. Nothing here is created. This is all supplied by the project, because the information is already there and it has to be there to comply with all of the standards. HA equipment list. So we have the electrical and mechanical. If we have work cover or a group come in and they say, can we have a look at the status of your hazardous area for the site? Then all you have to do is go in here, press the button, do a report, and you've got it. It's that easy. Calculations, these are all, again, engineered information that gets put into the system. Hazardous area inspections, these are all part of the process of what needs to be done. And if this program is followed correctly, then everything will be put into the right place and it's a smooth run for all outcomes. Cable entry systems. There's new technology. There are new glands being made. It's an ever-changing world, and when you come into the gland setup and non-leakage, there is a real issue about compliance, about making sure that everything is right, and the quality of old glands being done and still being used in the systems. Again, what we've got here is a recording schedule to make sure that everything is covered. Equipment suitability verification. It has to be correct, and so therefore all you have here is just the engineering people putting the right information in the right place, because they've already done that verification situation. And people's qualifications, have they done their training? What are their outcomes? And conformity docs. So this information is all in front, and all we have to do is fill in those gaps, and that gap is filled by a spreadsheet of information, and it's done. So then we just attach all of the documents where required, and we'll go into how that all works in a second. We'll go back to the hierarchies now, and what we have here is, when you create a project, you'll have your subsystem, which includes your pump and or your piping and systems approach. Then you'll have your system. It might be a pumping system of 5 pumps that do one cycle, one tank, that do one circuit of plant. It might be a potable water system, and it might include all of the potable water on the whole site, or it might be broken up into a 5 or 10 distribution system setup. The site and area. The site area is where you're actually working. So if you're in a mining plant, if you're in a gas plant, name the plant, name whatever it is, your phase, or it might be an area of the plant. So that area of the plant might be a one tank 1, tank 2, tank 3. It might be under a boiler, might be in an evaporator set. The phase of the plant, this is where we can alter what we see in the project. So that is, do we want to go through, when we come through stage 1, is we want to have this system when energized. So this is the phase telling us when we want these energizations to occur. and we group items as required. So there might be 10 stages inside one major notification, or to have an outcome by a date. And that's what puts it all together. The project is the overall, where you will scroll down into all of those other areas. So you've got the phase view, which will tell us, and then we can do our sorts, and we can just program our notice of energization with all of our pumps, all of our making sure our paperwork is all complete. So this all comes back to all of the paperwork required, all of the documentation required to close out a system. And project overview. So once we go into project overview, what we have here, we've got a few projects here that we're looking through. We'll scroll through this, and we've got some projects. We've got a crusher, build a shed. It doesn't matter what the project is. We've got a ROM, so let's have a look at that ROM now. And so we've got a ROM, a rock breaker, apron feeder, screen, crusher, conveyor, water suppression, fire, plant, air. So these are all individual subsystems. Once we go into the ROM, we've got our light and power, and we've got a pipe test back. Okay, this is a test of, just a summary of what we've got. We can go down to, let's have a look at the fire water, have a look at the pumps in that system. What you'll have under here, fire water, we need to have pipes, we need pumps, we need all of the information relative to that system. So we go in here into the related models, and we go down to fire and equipment layout. See what information there is, and we need to match. No, there's nothing in there at the moment, so we'll go to piping line list. Okay, so now we've got a piping line list. We need to make sure, and remembering, you will only have one. You will not see all of these projects. You will see your project. So all of the information on the right side will be relative to your project, and this system here will be automatically updated from a spreadsheet upload, so it does not necessarily have to be manually put into the system. So what we have here, we go to the drawings, and the drawings tell us that we've got a piping line list with pipe line list 1. Okay, so when we go into the scroll across, we're a little bit out of whack there. Alright, now that's a potable water, so processed water I should say, it's not the fire water. So water suppression might be the potable water. As an example, what we're going to do, we'll link up our piping list. Okay, you're trying to connect a piping line list record twice. This is part of the process, so it is already hooked up to another pipeline. So therefore it is telling us that, I'm sorry, you've got the wrong pipe, take that back. So we do an OK, and it will not attach. So these are the safety benefits and barriers that we have to work through to make sure that everything goes together right. And we run the spreadsheet out, and we have to compare this all to the drawings as well. What we can do from here is we can go and have a look at, let's go into our contracts or our disciplines, and we've got our mechanical register. There's our mechanical register, and what we're going to do, we're going to right click, and we're going to open this in a new tab. In a new window is even better. That way we can alt tab across our system. Now you can run as many screens as you like, and then you can bounce back so you don't lose your screen history. From here we've got our apron feeder, our information, hand valves that are all ready to be attached to this line here. So there's another area that we can do. We can actually reduce the size of what we've got here, and again here, so that we can work 2 screens, or alternatively we can work 2 screens side by side. So you can open up, you can actually see what you're working with. So you know that you've got this apron feeder. We go up to the apron feeder, down to the apron feeder. Let's get out of this fella. Okay, so we go into there. There's our apron feeder. Apron feeder. So that's our information there. So we know that if we go into the mechanical register here, it's going to bring up this information. So we can work side by side, and that's a little bit tight, but if you're running two screens, this information will be in front of you and you'll be able to read it all. So this is just an example of what we've got, and from there you can see that all you need to do, you've got the apron feeder there, you've got an item here, you drag that across, that is part of your apron feeder. Once we have all of this set up, again, it's been put on, and well, the page cannot be connected. Alright, we've got a different problem there. You can see how it all goes together. You've got your punch list items that you put in for when you do your walk downs, and from there it will spit out and put out as much information through the report system as you need to run a project and to run a controller project. So from there, that pretty much covers the front page and a little bit of nuts and bolts on how the hierarchy system works, similar to others, but very, very flexible. So we'll leave it at that, and thank you for listening. Any more information, please email to admin@TestGearOnline or manager@TestGearOnline, or go onto our website testgearonline.com.au, and we shall catch up with you. Thank you.